we have questions for Ivan.
What was the environment like today with the whole selection show and the fans all sitting around watching you guys?
That was pretty cool. That's my first time experiencing it like that, obviously. But no, it was cool. Just for a selection, making this kind of a big deal, it's pretty cool. And it just shows how much the fans care about us.
What were the playoffs like this weekend?
It was just, whatever you finish in the regular season, and then you just play 1 against 8, or there was also a play-in tournament, so 7 against 10, 8 against 9, or the regular play-in, and then first against 8, second against 7th, and then just, regular bracket.
So you kind of knew who you were going to be facing as the season went on and all that, so you didn't have this surprise and all that? Like, that's got to be a weird thing that you had no idea who you were playing until 2 hours ago.
Yeah, exactly. So, back in Europe, we basically knew, obviously it was not known until the end of the regular season because, one game here, lost there, one there could, change your seeding and the other team's seeding, especially with the play-in tournament for the first seed. It's like you don't know, but one of the 4 teams. Here it's one of 64 teams. So, no, that was definitely something new for me.
What do you make about the craziness? Everybody loves the tournament, the United States. What do you make of it?
I don't know, man. I got told that March Madness is like a holiday month here in America. So I'm starting to experience it, especially how we played the Big 12 tournament. Definitely got something special there. And yeah, I mean, I just want to experience it. Because back in Europe, I never followed college like that or the March Madness like that. But couple of my teammates told me that playing in a stadium on the Final Four is pretty cool.
Over the weekend, when you guys are doing so well, a couple of people tweeted Arizona's so good because they have a lot of older dudes playing. You're so young, but you're older. You experience. What do you make of that? People thinking that you're older because you have that mindset of being an old dude who plays basketball.
Yeah, I mean, even back when I was playing at Bayern and at a young age, playing with the professionals, if somebody would ask me, how old are you? I'm like 16 or 17. They're like, oh, really? I thought you were like 22, 23. So that's just, they just saying how mature I am at a young age. And I feel like I had to do that just so I can play at the level that I'm playing right now.
Just that kind of playing beyond your years will help you in the tournament, obviously, in these sort of single elimination games over the week. You played really well, you shot it well, clutch moments when you needed to. Do you think that experience helps you?
Yeah, I think the experience that I played, with people that have been there, I watched them, what they do different or what they do the same, or just what they do, how they act. And now it's my turn to do the things. And of course, I feel like that helped me a lot. And especially, when it goes south, not to panic or anything.
Have you ever felt like a freshman at all this season, or do you feel that experience made you maybe better prepared than others?
Yeah, in the locker room, sometimes the coaches try and be funny and say, hey, you're a freshman, I'm a freshman. I'm like, I'm a freshman in class-wise. I'm not a freshman basketball-wise.
Tommy was saying on his radio thing today about, he wanted you guys to kind of keep going, same routine, same approach this week, despite everything getting kind of bigger around you. Have you noticed it changing? And what is your plan, how do you plan to kind of deal with that?
I mean, the only thing that changes for me is that we don't play at home or on the road. We're playing on neutral side. We don't have as much time to warm up. And it's just, more teams. It's not 2 teams that, just meet each other at one or the other's home and play. You have 1 or 2 days to prepare for them. And, yeah, that's it.
Have you noticed the difference in the way, I don't know, when people approach you, if more of that kind of things happen as the season's gone on, people recognizing you and all excited and stuff like that? Do you sense that?
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, couple of my teammates told me, you will be recognized in the open space, especially in Tucson. Um, Whereas at the beginning, nobody really knew me, and that was not the case. But they said, wait, a couple games, and they will recognize you, and it happened. But I don't think it's because of March Madness or anything. It's just because they get to know me a little bit better.
Earlier this season, just some of the differences between college basketball and playing overseas. One of them being kind of the pep band, cheerleader, palm line, kind of just that whole, the rah-rah pomp and circumstance of it all. There was some pictures last night of you celebrating with the pep band and the palm line and stuff. Just what do they bring to, Arizona basketball, and what is it about them that, just kind of excites you, or you have that relationship with them?
No, I mean, I just love everybody that support us. And I know how difficult it is, standing on the sidelines for the whole game, traveling, supporting us, and they're doing their job and we're doing our job. And I'm so happy that we can give back to the community. And I just love the support. It really feels like they're a part of us. Especially when they traveled. In the first game, I remember they traveled also to Vegas, what I didn't expect, and they also traveled here to the tournament, and that just means a lot. That at least something we can take with us from McKale.
Anything else for Yvonne? Do you find, I mean, this is new to you. Have you looked at the bracket yet? Other teams in the West thought about things, or the game on Friday, or?
I'm not gonna lie, the bracket is a little bit overwhelming. Too many lines, too many teams. I just I just look at the game that we're gonna play next, and I think tomorrow we'll have a good meeting, and then on Tuesday we'll have a good prep practice, and then on Wednesday we'll travel.
Meet at all today, other than just being at the watch party thing?
Yeah, we met there, and then after coach came by, said, let's not do anything different than we did until now.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
Let me check here. Saul, Michelle, anything on your end? All right. We'll have Coach Lloyd coming down here momentarily.
Cool. Appreciate you guys.
tell you LIU, right? Utah State and Villanova. That's my bracket. Nope.
Murph was watching the Villanova game against BYU at the beginning of the season. I remember him sitting there. So.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh well, that's. Oof. Yeah, I don't know. Don't give us that much credit.
Kind of grown up in this, given that you were in previous school. Have you ever missed one?
Nope.
How was life like that for you?
Normal. I mean, well, yeah. Listen, I don't really act like it's my God-given right, but honestly, I've been fortunate. I've been fortunate that, the programs I've been associated have been able to participate in the tournament. I don't know, what is it, 27, 28 years in a row, something like that? So, yeah, normal.
How do you treat these, and I know differently, but just like the 1-16 game?
Everything's the same. We're treating everything the same. We're not doing anything different this week. We're not going to practice any different this week. Everything's the same. I mean, we're just going to double down on what we've done all year and, double down on a strong culture and double down on respecting our opponents and valuing preparation and, and then we're excited for Friday afternoon.
Yvonne said you mentioned that almost right away. Is that just the very clear message? Nothing changes. This is a normal week. And
I mean, that's how it always is, kind of within the program. I mean, we don't want to be. We understand what the tournament is, and that it's an exciting thing for a lot of people. But there's spectators and there's participants, and we're participants. So, we'll let you guys have all the fun with it. We just want to play games. And the one thing I know is the better story for you guys to write, there are better stories for you guys to write the longer we play and the more games we play. So, we're going to approach it one game at a time and go from there. We're not going to get out ahead of ourselves.
Did the previous four help, or does the previous four help you this year?
Previous tournaments? Yeah. I hope so. I mean, I hope I've learned, over the years and how to prepare the team the best way. I mean, nothing's foolproof or guaranteed, but hopefully, I mean, hopefully, we've gotten better at the process of preparing for the tournament.
Maybe just a little tougher this year just because you've done so well. Even you were saying you can't go to Momos without getting mobbed or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of hype and interest in you guys right now.
I mean, guys, I want to get done with this interview and I want to go home. I mean, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to Momos. I'm not going to be out and about the town. So, yeah, I mean, I just told our guys the best thing we can do is just kind of stay out of the spotlight a little bit and do our normal obligations and just kind of lead our normal lives. And the guys need to go to class and, do all their normal stuff. And I'm going to do my normal stuff. And, I mean, it's been a good process. So I don't know why we'd want to change that right now.
Does the potential...
So I don't think it's any tougher. I think you just have to be intentional. And you have to value being steady and, and understanding that there's real value in that.
Obviously, you guys have been pretty mature with that stuff, but you do have some freshmen who haven't been through this. Do you have to talk to them about it? Or?
Listen, I think those freshmen might be as mature as anybody in the whole group, and I think they're just wired that way. So, I mean, I'll obviously take stock this week and talk to them and watch them, and then figure out if we need to have more pointed conversations. But no, they're really mature, competitive guys. So. I think they'll be excited.
Regarding the freshmen and when you made the decision to go with 3 of them in the starting lineup, did you have any second thoughts about that maybe you needed to ease some of them in, knowing that you had the veterans on the team?
No, I mean, to me, it's almost easier to make that decision knowing you have the veterans coming off the bench. I mean, you're able to hedge your bet, so to speak. So, I mean, I felt great about that from day one, and you have an idea of what you want the identity of your team could be that you think suits your team, and so you're kind of try to, I guess, create an opportunity for that to happen, and that's what we did with that. So we wanted to be a physical, defensive oriented, strong rebounding team that can run good offense, and so those are the reasons we kind of made those decisions.
You mentioned that Friday helps you give you that extra day, but also you're kind of going back, if you keep advancing, playing kind of 2 Pac-12 style weekends, 2 games, 3 days, all in California potentially. And does that help, or now that you're using
I mean, if we're fortunate enough to move on, I'll probably be able to give you a better answer. I mean, obviously, playing close to home is nice just because, the proximity for your fan base. I mean, that's the number one thing right there. I mean, the travel part's not that crazy, I mean, there's not a lot of difference between a 1-hour flight and a 2.5 hour flight. It's just a little longer. So, no, hopefully we are able to play long enough that, that it does become an advantage. But, on Friday, all I know is the ball's going to go up. Somebody told me 4:35 p.m. I think it's not confirmed. Oh, okay.
Maybe take time to really.
Oh, wow. I fell for it. Those people on Facebook are even getting me now. I'm joking. I've never been on Facebook in my life, so I wouldn't know. But I know it's. I heard about that. Yeah. I heard there's a lot of fake reports out there about me right now or something. Like I've saved the world with this lunch money deal or something. Somebody told me, and somebody came up to me and told me, I'm like, what? I hate to break your heart, but like I didn't do that, So crazy world we're living in. But yeah, so whenever we play and the ball goes up, there's going to be 40 minutes, and one team's going to win and go on, and one team's going to lose and go home.
With the anticipation or the expectation that you were going to be a 1 seed, had you guys started looking at the potential opponents before?
No.
Long Island didn't start looking at anything until now. What do you know about them?
I know they got a good coach, and he was a heck of a basketball player. I mean, I grew up a Portland Trailblazer fan, and Rod had a great stretch of his career at Portland. I mean, he's one of the best point guards in the NBA, and no one could keep him in front. And I definitely remember that. And obviously he's been, I don't formally know him, but I know he's been around, college basketball and good players for a long time now. He was affiliated with, Kentucky for a long time, and then, the G League Ignite, that type of stuff. So, it's a really cool story to see him, have success. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know a lot about Long Island at this point, but, over the course of the week, I'll definitely learn a lot more.
Yvonne here earlier, I'll ask a question about him. He, a freshman, he acts like he's 25. Is that the Euro way? You've had a number of them? Because you probably never had to say you can't do this because you're he's not immature. You don't have to worry about stuff.
He's a mature, focused guy, and but he's had a lot to learn over the course of this season, like everyone else, and I'll give him credit. He has learned and gotten a lot better. So Yvonne's had a really good season for us, and he continues to make his mark. And I've been really impressed by that. I don't think there's any stage that rattles him. So I think he'll be fine Friday. And he's a smart guy. I mean, he's gonna, he could tell you he doesn't know a lot about the NCAA tournament, but I promise you, he knows more than he's probably leading on, and he knows how important it is, and he's gonna be excited to play in it for sure.
Still the tournament and all that, but as a head coach, do you take time yet to reflect? Like, do you say, man, like the regular season?
Nothing crazy. I'm not a great reminiscer. I mean, I don't know, when you're a competitor, trying to do things, stay in the moment and do things now and build for things in the future. Man, I just don't know. I don't know what benefit reminiscing has, so I just have never been any good at it. But obviously we've had an incredible season, and, I think our players, deserve a ton of credit, and the staff deserves a ton of credit. I mean, obviously we've worked hard and prepared them, but, they've been the ones that have found a lot of solutions in difficult moments, and they did it again this weekend a couple times. So it's a great group of guys, and it's great to be with them every day, and I enjoy, coming to work every day. I enjoy waking up in the morning, trying to figure out what we can do to get better as a team. I enjoy getting home at night and reflecting on what we did that day to become a better team, and trying to figure out, some ideas in my head before I go to bed, and then wake up with new ideas in the morning. The process has been awesome. So it's been really enjoyable with this group of guys, and I mean, I want to just keep moving it forward game by game.
In that same vein, like you're just saying, take a day at a time, but how do you, especially for some of the younger guys, just toe this line, especially over the last couple of days with such strong performances, toe that line between sort of confident going into the tournament and maybe sort of a cockiness going into the tournament?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, listen, I mean, confidence is better than cockiness anytime, like just real, genuine confidence. So I think these guys have that, you know. You saw Braden bounce back from, he didn't have a great game against Iowa State. He maybe wasn't feeling great. First couple of shots, are air balls, against Houston, and man, he was pretty good the rest of the game, So I mean, it was nothing that I said. I just told him when he came out of the game, take a breath, you're fine. Just lock in, we need you. And that's all he had to say. All I had to say is we need you. And that's all it was. And then from there on, man, I'm not saying those were the magic words, but he went out as a competitor and he performed.
Beyond the results themselves, what do you remember about the last time you guys went to San Diego for the tournament?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously an exciting time. It was my first year as a head coach, and I think we had really kind of come out of nowhere, and I think Tucson was still trying to figure out if this was real or not, and so yeah, it was exciting, and I think it was exciting for the players. It was exciting for me, because none of those players had been to the NCAA tournament. So yeah, it was a real exciting time with a lot of energy. I think obviously now I'm way more settled in, than I was back then. Hopefully I'm a better coach than I was back then, and yeah, and I know this group is, I hope they feel the same excitement, and it'll be a good task for our staff this week to make sure that the energy and excitement is there for what's coming.
Do you remember the first one? Given that you've been to 28 or whatever.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I remember playing here against Denny Crum. Yeah, I remember we played against Denny Crum in Louisville, and I think we beat him in the first round, and then the next game we played a 2-seed St. John's team. I think we were a 10 and beat a 7, and then yeah. So I mean, you remember enough when I think back at them, and I'm sure if I looked at, what do you go? First one was, yeah. I'm just trying to think. Yeah, I think so. I think my first one was 99 2000. So the year before I was gone, no, they won in the Elite Eight, or lost in the Elite Eight to UConn in Phoenix. And then the next year, I'm trying to think. I'm getting the 2 years mixed up, but yeah, I mean, I mean, if I took some time, I could figure it out. But a lot of things run together now. That's definitely for sure.
Team, and we've talked about this, how versatile this team is, obviously successful as you've had. Do you feel like as a coach, is it easier sometimes to prepare for teams knowing, okay, if this doesn't go right, we know this is going to happen, and you saw a little bit of that in the Big 12 tournament, right?
I mean, obviously versatility is important, to be able to play against different styles and different matchups. Yeah, I mean, I think our team, has a lot of bandwidth for able to win games in different ways. And, and obviously, we have our core things we really believe in and trust. But you also can't be stubborn enough to think that's always going to get it done. You know what I mean? You definitely need some plan Bs and plan Cs at times too.
Made some kind of jokes about Kansas City and Vegas and stuff over the week, but maybe kind of one of the constants was the sort of auxiliary units that go with the team, so the pet band, palm line cheer, stuff like that. We just asked Yvonne too, he's obviously been kind of fond of them and made a difference in college basketball this year, but just, what does that mean, kind of having that piece of home that goes with you?
I mean, I think it's really cool. I get so busy and kind of laser focused on what I'm doing that a lot of things in the periphery that I'm not, paying attention to. But it is really cool when they're in the hotel lobby for the send-offs, and it does make you feel like, okay, yeah, we're doing something special, and people are behind us. That support matters, and yeah, I mean, it's really cool. It's really cool that it matters to so many people, and I tell people all the time, I have a job I love. It's a passion, and what's really cool is people care about it. Sometimes that care can lead to heartbreak or frustration, or but that's life. And so I love that. I love that Arizona basketball is so important to so many people, and I love that people are excited about it right now. I love that people just are so locked in on this tournament, and I understand why a lot of people don't go to Kansas City yet, but, I'll give our commissioner credit. I mean, he came up to me and he's a forward thinker. He's talking about, and I'm not joking here, next year making sure there's direct flights from Tucson to Kansas City built around this tournament. I mean, I think I was like, wow. He's like, yeah, no, we can get that done. I'm like, really? Okay. I mean, I think that was pretty cool. And then it's because the tournament's going to be there at least till 2031, and who knows, maybe beyond. So, obviously, we want to perform well in the tournament, and, it's probably about time for some of our fans to think about going. But I also understand why they're not going this year. I understand people don't have endless amounts of money, and they're so excited about this team, and with the forecast that we're probably going to be in the West region playing in California, that, I mean, that's where their extra income that they have to be able to spend on stuff, they're hoping to spend on those weekends. So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty special. It's special to do that, and, yeah, I mean, Kansas City was great. They do a great job running the tournament. There's not one thing wrong with how that tournament's run. I haven't got out in the city too much because, we're working, but I'm sure it's great. Bruce can fill me in sometimes on all the hot spots.
Only at the arena and the hotel all weekend.
Bruce, you need to get a life.
When you play every day, it's just insane.
The article's already written. Come on, they just write themselves. Oh yeah, I like it. Let's go day by day. We're locking in. We're on the same page now. About time.
How about just JB's finger that swell up bad or anything?
I mean, my check-in with J-Rock today was we came out of it good. We came out of the tournament fine. I mean, obviously, 3 games in 3 days, has our attention. And, so we are thankful. You look at some of these teams, I mean, didn't Purdue or whatever, and they just played, right? Michigan. Yeah. Purdue, Michigan. And I think one of them's playing on Thursday. Imagine that. I mean, that's tough. Especially coming off a conference tournament where you made it to the final and you played 3 hard games in 3 days. So we're thankful for the Friday deal, and that's just probably luck of the draw a little bit. But, that also gave me a little bit of confidence. Like, once we got in that tournament, like, we have enough in the tank to go see if we can win this thing.
Maybe it's too early to tell, but, like, could you have to have a wrap at least by Friday? Or
I have no idea. I mean, I haven't heard one thing about if there's going to be any treatment necessary or whatever. But J-Rock told me we're fine. I mean, just the normal bumps and bruises, but he told me we came out of it fine.
Saul or Michelle, anything?
No, I'm good. I appreciate it. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
I think I'm good too.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Have a good week.
From here to Albuquerque now, or somewhere else, maybe Denver.
Why would I do that?
Just for me.
Steve wants a charter flight.
No. Hey, I know the money you're making off that basketball camp. You have a private jet. Come on now. Come on.